once again the President of the Republic of the Philippines, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. Seated. Good morning. We are gathered here for the inauguration of the Davao City Bulk Water Supply Project. And to formally begin our program, may we call on the President and CEO of the Aboitiz Group, Mr. Sabin Aboitiz, to deliver his welcome remarks.
His Excellency, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., ladies and gentlemen, good morning, mayang buntag. Today marks a transformative moment in the history of Davao and the Aboitiz Group. As the Beatles says, this long and winding road, that really long and winding road that led up to this inauguration began almost 10 years ago. And today, after all the headwinds from the COVID, from the delays to cost challenges, that road finally reaches its destination as Apo Agua delivers water to the DCWD takeoff points. Former President Duterte was and has been a prime mover of this project since 2015. And it's not just an achievement for us here, our partners, JVAC and us in Aboitiz, but a promise fulfilled by the city of Davao to over 1 million Davaoeños. As it has always been for years, our commitment to Davao goes far beyond water. We began by providing affordable power here, and now we look forward to supporting the DCWD as they ensure every citizen within their franchise area to have access to clean and affordable water, which is frankly a basic human right. And so we continue to intend touching the lives of every Davaoeño with every drop of water and every kilowatt of power. This project is a demonstration of really how much can be achieved with an unsolicited private partnerships, and it underscores an essential truth that when structured correctly and risks are allocated fairly, unsolicited proposals can greatly benefit both the public and the private interests. After all, the government cannot think of everything. And why should it? Why not allow many more minds to offer you a menu, like a Jollibee menu, of solutions that the government can actually choose from? These are how countries like Israel have developed so rapidly. They keep their mind open to the best options available, and after, they fully support them. So for the Aboitiz Group, Davao will always hold a special place in our hearts. Our bond with this city goes back to the incorporation of Davao Light and Power, our first electric company. I also remember when my cousin Al Aboitiz, together with the then Mayor Duterte, worked to establish the Davao 911 hotline system. Then after that, we built the Therma South power plant, the Cleanergy Park, and the electric best bus services that offered free electric-powered buses to government employees. So we've had our past, and we still have our future, and we look forward to align ourselves wholeheartedly with President Marcos Jr.'s agenda on infrastructure. We started in the Visayas already, where we've made significant strides in the energy sector, and we now start focusing on developing sustainable water solutions. We bring our expertise and experience in surface water projects, which we believe is key to sustainable water futures for all of us Filipinos. The success that we celebrate today sets an example for our entire nation. This is the kind of PPP projects we need in all of our provinces. It makes a significant contribution to the national government's agenda for improving the water supply across the Philippines, aligning with the priorities outlined by the President in his State of the Nation address. We are not just inaugurating a project. We are launching a model for the future endeavors. Once again, many thanks to DCWD, Chairman Bangayan, to Apo Agua, to our partner JVAC, and of course, the City of Davao for being part of this great achievement. And here's to a future where no Filipinos left behind. Daghang salamat.
Thank you, Mr. Aboitiz. At this point, we shall proceed with the ceremonial unveiling of the marker of the Davao City Bulk Water Supply Project. May we invite the President to lead the ceremonial unveiling and the rest of our stage party to please assist the President. Ready, Mr. President, at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. The marker reads as follows: the Apo Agua Bulk Water Supply Facility inaugurated by His Excellency Ferdinand R. Jr., President of the Republic of the Philippines, 7 February 2024 at Purok 6A, San Miguel Gumalang, Baguio District, Davao City, Davao del Sur. Made possible through the leadership of the Mayor of Davao City, Honorable Sebastian Z. Duterte, this successful public-private partnership project will provide sustainably sourced water from the Tamugan River to Davaoeños for generations to come. Once again, a big round of applause, Mr. President. Congratulations to the Aboitiz Group. At this juncture, may we request Special Assistant to the President, Antonio Ernesto Lagdameo, to introduce our guest of honor.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Republic of the Philippines, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Thank you for your introduction, Secretary Antona Lagdameo. Please take your seats. The DNR Secretary, Maritoni, well, I'm the only one who calls you Marito, Tony Yulo Loizaga, the Aboitiz Equity Ventures Incorporated President and CEO, Sabine Aboitiz, Davao City Water District Chairperson, Eduardo Bangayan, the officials and employees of the Apo Agua Infrastructura Incorporated. Congratulations, by the way, for this amazing project that you have put together. I do not think, I'm glad that we had the opportunity to fly around and to have Sabine with me explaining exactly what are the facilities that you had to put in place and what were he talked about obstacles that you had to overcome. And it is, the scale of it is really very, very impressive. My fellow workers in government, we have some members of the cabinet who have joined me for the several events that we are doing here today. Other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am delighted to join you today to inaugurate this Davao City Bulk Water Supply Project. It is not just about supplying Davao City with bulk water. It is also about ensuring that its people are provided with clean water and to improve their quality of life. Now, the facility has been delivering 300 million liters of water per day to over 1 million households in Davao City. The Davao City Water Supply Project is also a concrete step for us to lessen our reliance on limited groundwater by tapping the Tamugan River as a sustainable water source. This is very important as we have changed the policy And we are now starting to feel the effects of what we have been doing in the past, that is digging wells. And our aquifers are already starting to feel the effects, and they are not being replenished enough, which is ironic because we have sufficient surface water in the Philippines. The Philippines is not a dry country. And so this model that we are inaugurating here today is right in line with the policy of the shift in policy of government of taking water from surface water sources rather than from digging wells. And I'm very pleased to learn that this state-of-the-art facility is designed following the water energy nexus model, i.e. they are also producing electricity from the hydro plant which runs the plant. It enables the renewable energy through its built-in hydroelectric power, lessens reliance on our already strained electricity grid, and responds to the clamor for better environmental stewardship, more responsible management of natural resources. So, let me take this opportunity to acknowledge the teams of Apo Agua and its parent company, Aboitiz InfraCapital, and the Davao City Water District and the local government of Davao City for the unwavering dedication that was required and to bring this project to fruition. Your efforts to ensure the protection and conservation of Panigan Tamugan watershed and the management and rehabilitation of hundreds of hectares within the watershed area show that we can pursue development without compromising the environment. Thank you for showing us the deep well of potential that public-private partnerships hold, not just in securing water supply, but also in paving the way for enhanced economic growth, jobs creation, and an improved standard of living for Filipinos. What this demonstrates is a proven approach in battling water scarcity, which is no longer a seasonal challenge, but a perpetual threat that comes with climate change. It is for this reason that I continually stress the urgency of improving water security and directed agencies concerned to expedite the completion of all water projects across the country. Any disruption to the water supply, such as the one posed by the El Nino phenomenon, which we are feeling the effects of now, degrades our quality of life. It dampens our economic activity and can fuel disorder. Of all emergencies, water scarcity is the hardest to contain. It is, however, preventable with foresight, right plans, united action, and strong political will. Anticipating problems instead of letting them catch us by surprise is how we approach these challenges in the Bagong Pilipinas. We prepare for contingencies to solve problems and diffuse potential crises before they occur. We dream of building a nation of our children that proudly inherit, that our children can proudly inherit. And as such, this project is worth bequeathing to the generations that will come after us. I can only once again congratulate the Apo Agua Water Project and congratulate the Aboitiz Group for the hard work they have put in and the commitment that you have shown despite the trouble. There were many I think I heard the litany of the difficulties that you have faced from the beginning to the end. Government not playing a small part in some of those either. But the commitment that you have shown to now be able to provide this much clean, fresh water to our people. And that is not only a blessing for the families who have had to suffer through the scarcity of water supply and now are able to enjoy a sufficient water supply, and the quality of life, I think it does not need any further explanation. The quality of life between having clean water available in sufficient amount at a price that can be afforded, and having now this kind of almost unlimited supply is life-changing. And for that, we can only thank you all for the work that you have done. Congratulations at magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat.
Thank you, Mr. President. At this point, may we request the President to kindly grant us a photo opportunity. First, may we call on stage the Davao City Bulk Water Supply Project Board of Directors. Davao City Bulk Water Supply Project Management teams, please stand by and prepare. Thank you. Please exit to your right. Next, we have Davao City Bulk Water Supply Project Management teams. You may now proceed on stage. Representatives from the national government agencies and local government units of Davao, please stand by and prepare. Thank you. Please exit to your right. Next, representatives from the national government agencies and local government units of Davao, you may now proceed on stage. Thank you. Please exit to your right. Thank you so much, Mr. President, for granting us a photo opportunity. That concludes our program. Thank you, Mr. President, for gracing the inauguration of Davao City Bulk Water Supply Project. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Republic of the Philippines, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
This Valentine's Day, give your one-of-a-kind loved one a Toblerone, the thoughtful gift.
Joining us now on Hot Copy, we have with us Senator Amy Marcos. Senator Amy, good morning to you.
Yes, good morning, Karen. Good morning to all our viewers. Here we are in very hot copy.
I was going to say, and let's start first with the overall conversation of charter change. You are the older sister of President Marcos Jr. He is still pushing for charter change. First, do you support his push for changing the charter?
it would be ironic that, in fact, my family is actually defending the Constitution and saying that we should maintain this Constitution, because many have said that this, in fact, a very vindictive one against my family, having been set forth in 1987. But the reality is, having spoken to my brother before, na pag-uusapan namin, di pa siya Pangulo, sabi niya, madidistract lang, mauubos ang panahon at oras dyan, pati yung ating resources kapag napuntahan yan. Tutukan natin ang pagbangon ng ekonomiya. And I think that holds true today. It's still not the most important thing for every Filipino family. I think a survey said a mere 1% was concerned about that. And top of mind was the struggle for food, for gasoline, for more humane cost of living, because it's become so terribly, terribly expensive. Issues like the PUV, the El Nino that has struck so many provinces. But if indeed the president, my brother, sees fit to change the economic provisions, the Senate is not against Chacha. It is not against the economic provisions amendments. It is not against even the People's Initiative. Huwag lang ganito. Huwag naman sa pamamaraan na ganito. It is misleading, deceiving. There are many issues that are involved. I think you had a voice clip saying that inducement and bribery could even be involved, technical malversation, all sorts of crimes of swindling and fraud under the revised penal code. Wag naman ganito. Wag naman tinatanga yung tao, binobobo tayo. Pagkatapos, talaga naman sinasamantala pa ang kahirapan ng karamihan ng Pilipino at kamangmangan. Because apparently it was not explained. As you saw the form, many of us have seen it. It's all in English. And even legal luminaries would be want to debate on voting separately and jointly. These are very, very technical and legalistic matters.
So do you believe that your brother, the president, is not behind the People's Initiative? He is not giving the speaker the go signal for this?
Yes, I think there is a go signal for the economic provisions. And of course, the Senate will go out and do its very best as per agreement earlier in January. However, they carried on and restarted with a collection of signatures. It's very, very difficult to work when trust is no longer there. A 12 billion budget was inserted in the bicameral meeting. We never saw it. I hold the budget of COMELEC. The request was for additional funding for offices, for salary augmentation, and so on. Suddenly, 14 billion appeared in the final form. Why is it like that? So this is the problem. I believe, indeed, I am the president's sister. I am also a senator who has a bounden duty to protect and defend the Constitution and the Republic. I'm also a mother. So like you, we have a stake in the future through our children. And let's not forget, I am the daughter of Ferdinand Marcos. I am his firstborn. And I will never, never allow the Marcos administration to be used to once again besmirch his name and ruin his legacy.
All right. Now, you will not allow anyone to use your father's name and besmirch his legacy. You were also, I think, one of the first in the Senate to expose and accuse the Speaker as being behind the People's Initiative. In fact, you had even given an amount. You said at one point that the Speaker's office was offering 20 million to every district for the People's Initiative. Of course, the Speaker, to be fair, responded, and he said it was baseless. But what's shocking to many people is you're all from one family. Nag-uusap po ba kayo ni Speaker? Yan ang tanong ng marami.
Well, matagal na kami hindi nag-uusap. Dati-rati, siyempre, chika-chika, nagkikita kami sa pagtitipon. But this is no mere family squabble. We're talking about the Republic and the Constitution and the heart and soul of democracy here in our country. Kung sino man ang nagsimula niyan, kamag-anak ko man o hindi, talagang tututulan ko. As I've said many times, we are the most fortunate family on earth. With the grace and blessing of a second chance that was very, very hard fought over 36 years. 36 years of exile when you couldn't come home. 36 years na sabihin ko na napakahirap, hindi ko naman pinag-uusapan, natapong kami kung saan-saan dulo ng daigdig. Napakahirap nun eh. Pinaglaban namin to eh. And yet, here we are, hulog ng langit po, binigay ng Panginoon, a second chance, perhaps the last chance for my family to once again redeem itself. And really, family ties no longer have anything to do with this effort. And it's not just me. There are hundreds who suffered with us, who were loyalists and were somehow vaguely or significantly connected to the family. Soldiers who were stripped of their uniforms and their honor. So many Ilocanos, Warais, that were ostracized. Even my children, we came back home and we were mocked, and my kids would say, "Mom, why are they so angry? I promise I haven't done a thing." And I could never explain. So it's very hard for me to accept that it would be ruined in little over a year. Remember, Karen, I am also apparently the author of the UNI team. Ipaglalaban ko yung pagkakaisa ng Marcos at Duterte. Because Vice President Sara has actually said and revealed that I brought her in and convinced her to be the running mate of my brother. And as she got roped in, we determined to coin the name, apparently from me as well, Uniteam. And I'm determined to salvage whatever shreds remain of that unity. It is good for our country, it's good for development, and for our future.
Okay, well, first I want to thank you for being so forthright this morning, but let's start with this. What do you think then is the real motivation of the speaker for pushing this if you believe it can affect the Marcos administration, considering the president is his first cousin, right? Well, he's your first cousin, clearly, but what's his motivation? What's his game plan?
I have no idea, but it sounds very suspect. I am not accusing blindly. We saw photographs, we saw documents, we saw any number of screenshots from many employees attached to the House of Representatives Office of the Speaker. It was very, very clear. And curiously, I got sent some of them as early as December, before Christmas, where a timeline was very well delineated. The plebiscite would occur in June until July. And if we look back, it wasn't just December. In October, they were talking about it. The speaker was also boasting about it in the Iloilo Forum over and over again. So, nakaka-gaslight pag sinabi that they have nothing to do with it, because in fact all these communications offering the 20 million, 5 million for ayuda under a DSWD, 10 million from I believe medical assistance DOH, and also cash for work or tupad from DOLE, they all came from the speaker's office with names of employees, casual and permanent employees attached to his office or to offices very close to the speaker. So it's a real quandary. Why is there need to be so deceitful and duplicitous about all this? There is nothing fundamentally wrong about wanting to change the Constitution. We should be honorable and stand up for our advocacy if that is what we truly believe.
Okay. Do you believe, Senator Amy, that the money, the funding that's being used to allegedly bribe or give out for these signatures Do you believe they're public funds? Could the speaker be breaking the law?
I'm still collating testimonies from different witnesses, but clearly the witnesses said that they had no understanding of what they were signing. First of all, English daw. Ano ba ibig sabihin nun? Di naman nila alam. At saka yung jointly and separately, like I said earlier, pinagdidebatehan pa yan, di naman maintindihan. Ang sinabi sa kanila, pag pumirma kayo, may ayuda. Yung iba, binayaran talaga on the spot. May 100, 1,000. Yung kanina, sa voice clip, 1,500 a day kasi siya yung naglilikom ng mga pirma. And then the others were promised that they would get ayuda, the magic word ayuda, without knowing at all what was in there in the form. So we were compelled to conduct a hearing because we also have our own effort. There was an agreement early in January with Resolution 6 that subcommittee in the Senate would be established and we would do it properly. Because firstly, the Santiago case in the Supreme Court said very, very clearly, wala pang batas para sa PI. Kabisado na natin yung CONCON, yung CONAS, pero yung People's Initiative, hindi pa natin nagagawa sa buong kasaysayan ng Pilipinas. So gagawa muna tayo ng batas, doon nilalagay yung pamamaraan. What method, what process, what would be the guidelines, what exactly would be the safeguards. They said that the existing laws were inadequate and that therefore we have to make a law. So to my mind, why don't we first make a law? Let's hammer together, craft, debate until we get a law and thereafter produce this people's initiative that is properly done, that is in consultation with the people and actually addresses issues that concern the people, the cost of living, for instance. Why don't we go back to the problems of the average, ordinary Filipino family? Kami-kami lang naman yata interesado dito sa jointly, separately, at kung ano-anong legalidad.
Okay, so let's move a little first to the economic changes because the president has said, and even some lawmakers have said, that the Constitution is so restrictive and it would make a difference. I think Joey Salceda even quoted that with changes in the Constitution, there would be, he quoted a 12%, I believe, increase in income that would be for the country compared to the Senate's suggestion. He was really clearly quoting off his notes. But do you believe that economic changes first would make a difference to improve the economy and help the president?
Yes, I think economic provisions no doubt will be of help. But let's put it very clearly. I was the chairman of economic affairs for a while. And for the entire duration, I never heard the Constitution mentioned among the foreign investors. Ang lagi nilang reklamo was infrastructure, the extremely high cost of electricity, the endless red tape, and the insecure and unreliable regulatory framework. Nalalabuan sila, papalit-palit daw ang ating mga batas, lalo na sa mga buwis. So a change in the Constitution will not be a silver bullet and magically bring droves of foreign investors here. What would change immediately would be, in fact, exactly what they said: infrastructure, electricity, shipping costs, red tape, and too much bureaucracy, uncertainty. All of that need to be addressed as well. So this is my concern, that in fact it may not magically happen overnight. The other thing is, under President Duterte, we actually managed to change many restrictions in the Constitution without resorting to a constitutional amendment. And those three are very proud achievements of both houses of Congress. Firstly, the retail trade law, para makapasok kahit maliliit lang, no, mga 24-hour convenience stores, little B&Bs, small restaurants, even those could be investments of foreigners. Thereafter, we also had the Foreign Investments Law. Ako yun. So we expanded the areas where a foreign investment could come in. And then most controversial of all, we had the Public Services Law, which covered telecommunications. Of course, now it's pending in the Supreme Court with a case. We did it. But we managed to do it, is the point. Now, they're bringing forth another step of 3, public services na naman. At ang alam ko, nagawa na natin yan, basta hatulan na lamang ng Korte Suprema, tapos na yun. Education, which is a little unclear to me, quite frankly, because you and I know that any number of international schools are operating happily with more or less Filipino students. And there are a lot of specialist schools, culinary academies, tourism, H&M, that are actually foreign. Let's see how we do that. And lastly, I was really perplexed by advertising because it's such a tiny industry, and I'm really baffled. Are foreigners going to be able to create jingles and copy in Tagalog?
No, and frankly, where will advertisers advertise when the largest network has no franchise? Where will they go? Well, you have 2 mainstream at this point, but you're right. The landscape is small.
The landscape is minute and education is really dangerous. Baka hindi na nating kilala yung mga anak natin, mga burst na yan, kung ano-ano sinasalita.
Okay.
Parang nakakatakot naman yata kung totally po.
Senator, so you've itemized the points, and actually at that moment, you actually had the same argument as Christian Monsod. I just want to touch this before we go back to PIRMA lead convener Noel Oñate. Here is Senator Amy Marcos defending the 1987 Constitution, what some call the Cory Constitution. When you hear that, what's your response? Some people may find this ironic.
Yes, I started out saying that. Why have we become the defenders of the Constitution that was, according to many experts, designed to put an end to the Marcos dynasty? So it's really perplexing. But among many things, we all are committed to changing the Constitution at a certain point. But is it now? Is it now? Will it be good for all of us? Isn't the cost of living the most pressing issue for every Filipino family? While we talk about the Constitution, while there is this heated back and forth between the 2 houses, people are starving. Food is very, very expensive. Gasoline's gone up by 280 pesos again. The PUV issue hasn't been settled. And of course, we have the threats to our fishermen in the West Philippines.
So, Senator,
problema.
Ang tanong ko nga, Senator, have you advised this? Have you told your brother this? At the end of the day, yes, he's president, but you are